Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie, for those who don't know me, reviewing Married at First Sight UK, Season 9, Episode 21. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. So just an announcement, next week, I'm gonna really start bulking these videos, maybe like 2 a week, just because Love Island Australia is starting up, and y'all know I'm always in the clutches of Love Island, okay? So there'll be a lot going on this channel, so yeah. Skimming through some things before we get to the commitment ceremony, we have Luke, who is drained by Hannah and her drama. Emma is still happy about the snog. And can I explain the snog thing? Because some of you guys were like, girl, what as much Australian and British television you watch, you don't know what snog means? I know what snog means in terms of it refers to a kiss. But I was wondering, is it like a peck, like a kiss, or like a makeout? You know what I'm saying? Because to me, snog gives makeout. Emma and Casper don't give makeout to me. Like, that's just not something that I can picture in my mind. So I was like, there's no way she means snog. She must mean just a kiss, maybe even a peck. But yeah, I just wanted to clarify. I know what it means. I just wanted like a detailed definition. Anyways, Casper says that the more she lays it on thick with him, the less he wants to be in this relationship. Like, just get out. Casper, you're pissing me off now. Sasha learns how to say I love you in sign language. Polly and Adam are still arguing because she feels like he has done more wrong than she has. But like we said in the last video, you forgave him for all of that stuff, seemingly. So you can't then throw it back in his face when it's convenient for you. If you forgave him, you forgave him. The slate is clean. We must move on. Also, I saw Polly's apology. I can include it right here if you want to pause to read. But yeah, she's denouncing her behavior because it was quite a lot. It was a lot. Obviously, we know editing can really be creative and stuff, so I'm sure editing played a part. But girl, Polly, it was just very unbecoming, child. But she apologized for her behavior. Ryan thinks that Steven is here for the wrong reasons. And I haven't read the articles about Steven, but I've been hearing there's stuff about Steven going around. All I'ma say is, you could tell from the way he was talking, something in the milk wasn't clean. I haven't read it just because I like to keep my mind focused on just the show and what the show is telling me. But, Steven. I knew who you were, Steven. Rochelle heard about Orson's infidelity, and she plans to expose that on the couches. So, moving on to the commitment ceremony, we have Holly and Alex. They're first on the couch. Not really much to talk about these two. They're more in sync this week. Ain't nothing like a home record to bring two people together. So they both decide to stay. Next on the couch is Ryan and Shannon. They lightly touch on the drama, but you could tell Ryan would rather focus on his disdain for Steven.
I've gone back to sleep, waking up, and Shannon's not there.
We had our first little argument. Big misunderstanding, honestly.
That was just a mountain was made out of a molehill.
Ryan, you looked agitated and you looked worked up.
You was going to try it on her though, yeah?
So if Shannon was interested,
I would not have done that without speaking to you.
Come on,
Now,
you're the slightest guy I've met. You keep your distance from me, I'll keep your distance, and we'll respect that.
So Shannon says that something took place where it reminded her of a toxic ex, and so that's why she needed to remove herself from Ryan, yeah. And he also said that he's done, and she believed that he meant like the relationship is over, like I'm done with this, whatever. I can hear that, but this is why it's so important to work on your healing journey before entering relationships, before entering a marriage, because you can't keep projecting your past onto your current or onto your future. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, our past can help us sift through things that look similar, but this girl is consistently in her head about things she has seen, heard, and experienced in the past and projecting it onto Ryan, who hasn't done those things to her. You know what I'm saying? Holly does the same thing. Polly does the same thing. A lot of the women here do the same thing. Like, y'all need to work on that and go into these relationships with a clean slate. You owe your partner that. You owe your partner a clean slate. You owe them the opportunity, at least, to disappoint you. Don't come in with the disappointments and then be like, see, I told you. To me, personally, that's unfair. But anyways, they talk about Steven. Ryan clearly wants nothing to do with that man. Can't blame him. I still can't believe that Steven just played in Ryan's face like that. Knowing he's being recorded. Knowing that he already went to Holly expressing his interest. Went to the other guys expressing his interest in Shannon. And then you're going to sit in front of Ryan's face and play in his face. That's insane. So yeah, he doesn't want anything to do with Steven, but he still wants to give the relationship with Shannon a chance. So they both decide to stay. Next is Luke and Amy. What is this switch that has flipped with Luke?
Amy, bless her, she was like 24/7 babysitting. But I felt like I was the nurse and the patient, and I felt like the janitor.
We were supporting Hannah.
I know we were supporting, but look what it's done to us. She sat here last week saying I was a 12 out of 10. Amy picked Nathan as the sexiest husband. Like, what's this, FIFA cards and numbers keep getting bigger?
Does that mean I can't have any friends with penises?
No, it's not that.
I can appreciate that other people are attractive.
Luke seemed very agitated in this episode, and I was like, what is this, honey? He is jealous of Amy expressing interest in somebody else. Well, I can't even say expressing interest, just acknowledging somebody else's attractiveness. I don't think it warrants this kind of reaction. And then he also is upset at the fact that she was playing babysitter instead of them forging a deeper connection. That I can understand, but still, his reaction based on the things that he's upset about, it doesn't really line up for me. So I'm like, what is this change of tone coming from Luke? I don't know. It's a little bit much. But anyways, they do say that things are great on the physical aspect of things. And they still want to see where the relationship goes. So they both decide to stay. Next is Adam and Polly. Adam is leaning heavily into this victim narrative. And honestly, I would too if I was him.
Polly said that she would twist to another husband. So I was shocked, upset, disrespected. I was making so much effort and coming out of my comfort zone. Kind of like a kick in the teeth.
Interesting.
He's gave me more emotional conversations, so it's just another shock for me to hear.
Don't feel like he shows me that he cares about me enough. I mean, he's never said that I'm sexy or I'm beautiful or I look gorgeous.
And I've said to you, the last thing I'm going to do now is want to give you a kiss when my head's been scrambled.
We know Adam doesn't want to be with Polly, okay? I don't care how much the show tries to spin the narrative like, oh, he's really her. He's, oh, please, please. This was going to be a great escape for Adam, okay? He knows he doesn't like, Polly knows he doesn't like her as much as she likes him. And even the experts were like, well, it's not good enough to just fall for potential. So if that's going to be all that this relationship is, you might as well leave from now. I don't know why Paul is fighting so hard for this relationship, because like, y'all know he doesn't like her. Please be so serious. But anyways, she thinks that it's worth working through. So she stays, he stays. And I'm like, oh God, long day for me. But anyways, moving on. Steven is next on the couch with Hannah. He goes straight into listing out all the reasons why he cannot stand Hannah. And at this point, the relationship is dead in the water.
She just goes, Orson, why don't you hold my hand? So the respect thing then just disappeared straight away. So
He didn't say one word to me after the commitment ceremony. You can't make a guy jealous of you that doesn't give a fuck about you, so that's not what that was. I don't feel like you can sit here and say that's the reason why you weren't trying.
You both had an argument.
I wouldn't call it an argument.
No,
I'd call it an ambush, and then I leave the room.
I said I'll try at the retreat, and I was trying to get into that headspace, but...
Did you stay together at the retreat?
No. All I'm hearing is she's trying it with everyone's husbands.
Paul is again trying to see if this relationship could work. We heard a lot from Paul today. What happened to Mel? And at least we heard from Mel. We didn't hear anything from, oh, what's her name? Charlene. Yeah. We didn't hear much from Charlene today. But anyways, Paul is trying to see if this relationship is salvageable. It is not. Steven decided from the honeymoon that it was over for him and Hannah. So anything that happened after that was just going to be evidence to back up his case against Hannah. He then questions Hannah's intentions for being on the show. How obtuse can you be? Because you also were ready to pounce on Miss Shannon if she was down for it. How dare you? Anyways, everybody knows this relationship isn't going anywhere, so we were all expecting them to leave, and they both decide to leave. Next, we have Kieran and Christina. They talk about Christina's PMDD and how it really is consuming her in this process.
PMDD hit and it was just a little bit tough.
I'm more careful about what I say and what I do when PMDD's, yeah.
You know, it's just like we're friends living together again. Like, I know you've taken a step back.
I've distanced, but I wouldn't say I've took a step back.
It's fine, like, it's fine.
Christina, it's not fine.
Well, it's fucking shit.
Right. Yeah, it is.
I had a feeling the ball would drop, and some people were saying I was being a little bit too pessimistic, but I'm sorry. To front as if everything is just so great all the time, there often are cracks underneath the surface, and that's what we're seeing now. Kieran does admit that maybe he's not equipped to be with somebody who has PMDD, or maybe to be with somebody who has the emotional roller coaster that she's on. Because I can imagine there are people who show similar symptoms to having PMDD, but not actually being diagnosed with having PMDD. You know what I'm saying? I think he would struggle with anybody who has the disposition that Christina has. And Christina's like, honestly, I've heard this before. It's fine. It's like, nothing new. Nothing new for her. She does say that she feels rejected because they haven't been able to get physical. And Kieran does admit that, yes, the cold sore kind of played a part, but it's more so that he doesn't feel like he can engage in that way and be an adequate partner for her. So he doesn't want to lead her on, basically. And I'm thinking, this is a better explanation, because ain't no way this cold sore has lasted for almost a month. Nah. And there's other ways to get physical without using your lips. Okay. You can get creative. you can get creative. All right. So yeah, it kind of looks like things are going downhill for them, but they think that their relationship is still worth giving a fair try. So they both decide to stay. Nathan says he only wants to say he loves Lacey after they figure out their life on the outside because of the distance. She doesn't like that, but honestly, I agree with Nathan. I feel like for me, I would need to see if your actions live up to your word before I can fully say that I love someone, because to me, love is action, right? So on the outside, I want to see if you really are about the life that you portrayed yourself to be. Is the distance going to be an issue? Are we able to communicate in the way that you say we're going to be communicating in the real world? There's just all kinds of things that I would want to see before I say I love you. The experts are like, well, if you feel it, you feel it. So you might as well say it because you are doing yourself a disservice. I mean, I guess. But I would rather somebody be sure about loving me instead of saying it because they got caught up in their feelings. You know what I'm saying? Lacey says she's on the cusp of saying it, but I imagine she's the type of person who doesn't want to say it unless it's said to her. So I don't think she's going to say it until he says it. Anyways, they both decide to stay. Emma and Casper talk about the kiss they had, and even though he liked it, he said she's a good snogger, he is starting to retreat because she is throwing herself at him and it's just too much. She says that it was just banter. She was like, well, if you stay in the process, we could shag every day. And he's like, whoa, I don't want to do that, because he doesn't like her. But they don't want to say the quiet part out loud, so we're going to pretend like this relationship has potential, and they both decide to stay. Sasha and Ross say that even though all this drama is going on around them, they are in this love bubble that they don't want to leave. But the cracks are starting to show with these two as well. So long day for me. Okay. They also talk about the physical connection progressing a little bit. And guys, I'm skimming over some of these couples because there really wasn't that much to talk about. They say the physical has progressed, but they don't want to explicitly go into that. So fine. They both decide to stay. Orson and Rochelle. Whoo, baby. We're going to be here for a minute. Okay. So we knew this was going to be explosive because Rochelle was sitting on a bad boy piece of information. And come to find out, other people had some bad boy pieces of information too.
You know, I said to him, I think you're quite selfish.
Wow.
Wow, what? Orson and Hannah have been bonding. And I walked in last night and found Orson and Hannah, you know, having a little double date set up. Reinforce.
Michelle, don't do that. Michelle, don't do that.
So why the fuck are you trying to defend when they've been... That's
What are
wrong.
you talking about? Talking shit, man. I'm talking shit, man.
Alex.
Have they not been sneakily kissing?
I know you didn't, babe.
So fix him.
I'll tell
Sort
him.
him out.
You got something to say?
Sat here and I've watched you attack the women either end.
I'm asking you if you got
anything to say to me. I don't understand why you were so angry.
She doesn't know what she's talking about. Oh my God, I'm about to...
You're an embarrassment to yourself at this point. Reeks of desperation and just like, you really aren't as sharp as you think you are. I find him quite weak-willed. You're a bit simple. It's obvious. Leave.
It was so funny to see the room ready to turn on Rochelle. Because I will say, like, Rochelle, and as much as I can see some of her actions being justified in terms of not wanting to fully engage with Orson, the way she speaks to this man is absolutely disrespectful. Unless this man has called you everything but a child of God, I don't understand why she speaks to him in such a demeaning way. She's so rude. Like, she was so nasty and so rude.
You like that.
So nasty.
And that's what happened.
So rude.
What did she say before? Orson cannot lead a 48-year-old woman. It may be a woman in her 20s. And I'm like, can you be a partner to a mature man? The way that you speak when you don't get your way? I don't know. But anyways, the room was ready to turn on Rochelle until Lacey dropped some information as well, talking about, wait, hold on now. These two have been kissing. So I don't know why you guys are taking up for Orson when he is in the wrong. And hey, Lacey is valid there. Alex trying to do his big performance. What do you mean? Trying to intimidate. Oh, Alex irks my entire soul. And the fact that Alex is in the age bracket of men that I have to date makes me want to throw up. It's just, ooh, Alex is so aggravating. And so Sasha pipes up and she's like, okay, so what we're not going to do is try to intimidate people. You're hounding on this woman and it's not fair. And Alex starts barking back at her. And here goes Holly. Holly's delusional self talking about, I don't want to be with a man who talks to my friends like that. Because if he could talk to my friends like that, he could talk to me like that. Girl, you exemplify similar behavior. I don't know if you know that. You exemplify similar behavior to your man. You try to do it to him, but Alex is not one to back down. And he will stare you down to make you know that you need to stay in your lane. So then what do? You do it to other people like Hannah. Now, granted, Hannah was out of line with some of the stuff that she was doing, but Holly is absolutely exemplifying the behavior that she now claims she's uncomfortable with seeing in a partner. Interesting. Also, isn't this the same Hannah who was creating such a hullabaloo over Hannah, who is now being seen on an alleged double date, which nobody wants to claim as a double date, with that same woman she was barking at? Oh, because now that your man, his friend, is with said girl, you're cool with the girl? As long as she's not pushing up on your man, it's okay, right? As long as your home isn't affected, it's okay if people want to go around and be messy like that? Oh, okay. And it's funny because Holly was like, oh, I'm a girl's girl, and I don't like women like this. I don't like women who... But here you are condoning this behavior in Hannah and Orson and in Steven trying to mac on with Shannon. Now, some people were saying they didn't perceive Holly's part in that as her encouraging Steven and Shannon's potential relationship. Here's my thing. The fact that she was even going around relaying Steven's want for Shannon to me is a red flag. I would be concerned if somebody was doing that and you're supposed to be this like moral whatever, right? But on top of that, you could see that if Shannon was going to be with it, Holly would have fed into it. It's only because Shannon shut that down immediately that she was like, yeah, Steven is trying to push up on your woman, Ryan. Can you believe it? Please. If Shannon was for it, Holly would have encouraged it. She absolutely would have. But anyways, back to the people. Rochelle and Orson. Orson finally admits that he in fact did kiss this woman. And I'm like, Orson, we're supposed to be better than what Rochelle is portraying you to be. You're supposed to be better. And here you are proving her point at every turn. What do you mean you were kissing this girl at the last day of the retreat? Granted, the relationship is basically dead at that point, but you can wait till the outside. If you really like her that bad, y'all could talk on the outside. Because Hannah's here like, we just gravitate to each other. Okay, so gravitate out there. Gravitate out there. What? I'm so glad these two didn't try to do the whole, hey, can we come back into the experiment as a couple? Absolutely not. Get out of here. We don't want to see you. Okay? Go somewhere else. The episode ends with the couples saying goodbye to each other. And Alex wants to pull Ross aside so he can address Ross's wife. You got a problem with Sasha? Go talk to Sasha.
Ross, am I talking to you a bit?
Why does he want to talk to my husband, talk to me?
Fuck that.
Why does he want to talk to you and not me?
Not my fucking problem.
Not your problem, so your wife isn't your problem.
I told you from day one, don't get involved in driving.
But I'm your problem, Ross. I am.
Now, giving Ross the benefit of the doubt, he actually didn't do anything. So I don't think that he should get the smoke that Sasha's giving him. But on top of that, though, he didn't do anything. Let a man even insinuate the fact that he has words for me. I would back up. Don't say nothing about my wife. Absolutely not. No. Now again, Ross didn't do anything, but also Ross didn't do anything. Like, it would have been nice to see Ross put his foot down and be like, not too much on my wife. Thank you very much. Now, in this next episode, apparently Ross takes off his ring and throws it at the wall. Ross! What's going on, sir? I had your back this whole season. I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. What's going on? Yeah. The next episode seems to be quite the plot twist for me because the relationships that are supposed to be doing good are not doing good. And the ones that are supposed to be bad and are supposed to be off my screen seem to be getting better. I'm confused. I'm very discombobulated off this season, but I'm here for the ride, child. So, as always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one.